Autolite, America's best-selling spark plug.
Hi, I'm Jay Buckley from Autolite Spark Plugs. Welcome to the Autolite Spark Plug Import Installation Series. We're going to show you how to gap and install Autolite XP Iridium spark plugs in a Honda Accord. It only takes 10 easy steps. The tools needed are a 3/8 ratchet, an extension, a plug socket, a gap gauge, a 10mm socket, and some silicone dielectric grease. You'll also need some anti-seize, a magnet, and a torque wrench. Let's get started. Step 1. Start by removing the ignition coil cover. You'll need a ratchet and a 10mm socket to do this. Step 2. Remove the ignition coils and disconnect the wires after lifting them up slightly. Then set the coils aside. Step 3. Remove the existing spark plugs using a ratchet, an extension, and a spark plug socket. Use the magnet to lift them out of the holes. Step 4. Let's check the gap of the new spark plugs and make sure it's set correctly. Step 5. This is a very popular gap gauge, mainly due to its low cost. The problem with this gauge is it is most often used incorrectly. With the exception of copper core spark plugs, all of today's plugs have precious metal electrodes. These can be easily damaged by placing an object between the electrodes and prying them open. The correct way to use this gauge is to use the small circle to grip the end of the side electrode. Then pry open the gap or tap the side wire to close the gap. You use the sliding scale to measure the plug gap. Another popular gap gauge is this style. It has round wires to accurately measure the plug gaps. It also has a tool attached for opening and closing the gap. The spark plug gap on this Honda Accord is 39 to 43 thousandths of an inch. Step 6. The Honda service instructions recommend using a small amount of anti-seize on the spark plug threads before installation. Step 7. Using a small piece of rubber hose, thread each iridium spark plug into the cylinders. Step 8. Using the spark plug socket and a torque wrench, tighten each spark plug to 13 foot-pounds. Step 9. Now it's time to reinstall the ignition coils, placing a very small amount of silicone grease inside the boot. This is a good time to inspect the boots and replace any that are worn or oil-soaked. If you have a boot that's oil-soaked, the valve cover gasket must be replaced as well. Step 10. Snap the connectors on the coils while lowering them into the hole. Then reinstall the coil cover and put away the tools. You can install Autolite XP Iridium spark plugs in any Honda vehicle. Autolite spark plugs are specifically designed to meet or exceed OE quality and performance. Autolite spark plugs will provide great starts, great fuel economy, and long life in your Honda. Thank you for your time, and remember, you can access additional training videos at Autolite.com, and live technical support is available 7 days a week through our Autolite Answers phone line at 855-200-5200. That's 855-200-5200.